For over 2 decades, God game fans have been waiting for a true successor to the legendary Black and White. Now, developer 42 Bits Entertainment has stepped up to the divine plate with Fata Deum. It promises to blend godlike powers with settlement management and moral choices. But does it live up to its hallowed legacy, or is it just another mortal attempt? At its core, Fata Deum is a strategic simulation game where you play as a new god, competing against rivals for followers and influence. The main mechanic involves managing mana, a divine resource used to perform miracles. These miracles can be positive, like inspiring your people to build and procreate, or destructive, like acts of vengeance that instill fear. The game is also clearly divided into day and night cycle. During the day, you openly interact with the world and influence your followers. At night, while the villagers sleep, you can whisper into their dreams to set long-term plans, such as to control their productivity or even attack rival villages. However, the game is more complex than it first appears, as you also need to manage resources like wood, stone, iron, and gold. Each citizen also has their own energy and productivity rate to consider. While it's a more expanded version of the city builder genre, it still keeps things simple to understand. Unlike some city builders, your direct control is limited. You cannot simply drag a road or place a building wherever you please, which is quite frankly annoying. Instead, you inspire them to build, influence their priorities, and watch as they collectively shape a world in your image. The game features 4 rival gods: violence, deceit, fertility, and pleasure, each with their own unique style and objectives. You must constantly compete with other gods for the loyalty of mortals, which adds a competitive layer and keeps the gameplay from being too passive. The most unique aspect of the game is its morality system, where your choices have a direct and visible impact on the world. A benevolent god who nurtures followers and blesses the land will create a thriving environment. In contrast, a tyrannical god who sacrifices mortals and raises undead armies will leave a scorched and barren wasteland. This visual transformation of the environment is a powerful way to reinforce the path you choose. The game also includes powerful one-time miracles, which are single-use spells you get from completing quests or finding points of interest on the map. These let you feel powerful early on without compromising the long-term progression system. But a key element from its main inspiration is missing: a creature. Unlike the memorable animal companion in Black and White, there is no personal pet to raise and train. While the developers have stated this is a difficult feature to implement, it remains a major request from the community. You can also choose to listen to your followers' wishes. They'll give you side missions that influence your control over the map. For example, a follower might ask you to unalive someone, or a mission could require you to have 300 followers. There are also main missions from the other main gods, such as nature. Completing these objectives help you finish the map and unlock new content. While having to unlock new content might feel limiting, remember that the length of your game can vary greatly depending on whether you choose to be good or evil. To be honest, I wasn't really impressed with the game. The maps feel repetitive, and so do the starts, which are limited to being either good or evil or the mix between the two. While there is some variety in how each rival god plays, the missions and goals are always the same, repeating multiple times even in a single playthrough. This is an early access title, but the game genuinely lacks something to keep you hooked for a long time. While it's fun to throw meteors at the other cities, there is a lack of visual clarity. For example, after throwing a huge meteor at a village, the ground remains the same and the village is still standing. There's not much visual destruction besides the land turning black and few things being destroyed. Fata Deum has technical issues, including FPS drops, lag, and freezing. Some parts of the landscape and structures look visually strange or out of place, but despite these problems, the game's overall structure works well. That's not to say it isn't a fun game. The various miracles and powers keep things very interesting, especially on harder difficulties where you can't expect a lot of chaos from the start. Fata Deum will take you some time to properly learn everything, from expanding your outposts and villages into bigger cities to managing hundreds of followers in one place. Mana is a crucial resource, so don't forget to build temples to increase your supply. Now, for all its potential, Fata Deum has some real issues. Right now, a lot of the gameplay feels, well, exhausting. To convert villagers, you have to manually click each one instead of using area effects. It's slow and tedious. And frankly, a lot of the powers are boring. You can give or drain energy from a single worker. It's a small, almost pointless action you have to repeat 10 times just to have a minor effect on the village's economy. The so-called action-packed stuff, like raining meteors. And what happens? A few buildings get destroyed, the villagers rebuild them, and nobody even cares that a god just bombarded them with space rocks. They don't convert, and they don't even hate you. They just carry on. Another issue is how the energy system affects your towns. If the energy is too low, citizens stop working, which completely ruins the game's pacing. The enemy AI is also a few steps ahead, as they are much faster to react and manage their resources. In the end, Fata Deum is a very promising revival of a beloved but long dormant genre. It successfully captures the feeling of wielding immense power and watching a world bend to your will, just like classic old games such as Black and White. The morality system and dynamic world building are excellent, and the competition with other gods keeps the gameplay engaging. While the game currently lacks the polish of a finished title and is missing a personal creature companion, it offers a solid foundation. Fata Deum is a worthwhile investment for anyone who has been yearning to play as a deity again.
Have everything ready before you commit to expanding. Settling is only possible if the initial settlement has a path to a suitable